It was a difficult moment in the sense that wow, I'm alone now. And what's the reason for being here? You really do feel a loss. And your compass is no longer pointing north.
We just took the mattresses in,
Yeah.
and you slept on the floor the first night.
I remember eating tomato soup off the hot plate.
You remember that? Yes, that's what we had for supper.
My first memories of the farm is being a little kid in the barn playing with mom and dad during chores. His coveralls always had a loop where you hang the hammer from, and that was my handle. I would grab that and I would follow him around like a mouse all day. I was forever with my dad. I remember building the treehouse with Dad because it had been bugging him that I wanted to do a father-son project.
You played in there.
That was a lot of time spent in that treehouse. You didn't have a job on the farm till you were about 8, 9 years old, then you'd feed the calves for a few years. That was your job. And in those days, as soon as you could reach that clutch pedal, now it's time to work in the field, because now you can drive a tractor. So I graduated in 82. There were no jobs. So I said, well, I might as well work on the farm. So that was a kind of a trial period, 10 years together. And we did not see eye to eye on a lot of things. But my dad was very understanding. He let me prove to myself that I could do it. And I bought the farm when I was 26. And there was no going back after that. I was going to be a farmer. My dad would say, the best time for me farming was when you came and bought the farm. All I had to do was come and enjoy the day. It's your mom, it's your dad, it's your mentors. It's a special relationship. There was hard days, there was tough days, but for 20 years I worked very closely with my parents. We really did have fun. There's Dad's blue coat.
That's the coat, yes.
That's the one that you had to fix how many times?
No, he didn't want to change his coat. I had to patch it and patch it. Oh well, it made him happy.
Dad slowed down, and from 2000 on, Dad actually wasn't employed on the farm, but Dad came to the farm every day. He had this small silver Ford Ranger. He was very timely at about 3 o'clock. You could see it coming because one, he was coming slow, and it was the little truck. So that gave you about 2 minutes to get your stuff together and look busy. And if we weren't doing anything, he'd look at you and go, well, what are you doing? What are your plans? You're not doing anything. So we called him the inspector. He just loved being part of the family and being part of the farm. And I don't think you could ever remove that farm out of him. It becomes part of you over time.
I think it took us a long time to accept that Dad was sick. As his prognosis kept getting worse, and we had to realize, like, oh, okay, like, you know, he's not gonna beat this.
Oh yeah, you never want to go through that. But that's people of real faith, old school faith. And so he would say, well, I know we'll meet again. Even then, when you're sad, he's still carrying you. Someone who's so great all his life wasn't going to trip up in the last few weeks.
He was such a big person. When he was gone, you felt it. So for my dad to have all that weighing on him, and then me being gone at university, he had really no one to lean on, I think. So for him, it was hard.
And so that one person that was always your cheerleader, that's not there.
You start wondering, well, why am I doing this? If it's just for me, I don't really want to be here alone. At that point when my dad passed, Nicholas was in school, and we had made up our mind we were leaving. If he wasn't taking the farm, and I didn't want him leaving and then I just sell it out from under him without having given him that opportunity. I gave him a limited time and said, you have to choose. And you don't get to try something else first. You have to try this first. So it's an opportunity for him, but not at the most opportune time. I didn't feel good doing that, but I had to be honest that that's all I had left.
Realistically, he knew that if he was coming back, he had to want it. You can't do this job if you don't want it. It's just too difficult, too demanding.
I was kind of sick of the farm at the time, and I just needed to get away. Somewhere in the 3rd year of university, that's when my grandpa passed away. My dad was having a really hard time with that, and everything was hurting a lot. I came back to help on the farm a little bit, and the joy and the feelings I got from working at home again kind of hit a little bit. You walk away from it for a little bit, and that's when you realize there's something about it that you can't live without. So I decided, you know what? This is definitely something I want to pursue.
When Nicholas decided to come back, all of a sudden it's just like the compass pointed north, and you saw the path, and things become clear. And then that changes everything, and it's fun again. And so we get to share this chapter. And now I get to be the old guy, and he gets to be the young guys. You hope that you can do it half as good as your dad did, because he was great. I could just see him being so excited watching Nicholas, you know. His face would have lit up, and to see him working there, but I can do it. And so it's humbling, but it's also something to be very proud of. And so, yeah, I can do like him.